Let's get into some of your comments, people. You guys, once again, we are Tottenham Army. Let's see what you got for us today.
All right, Digo says, watching you boys get eager to watch them kick a ball and speed through the conditioning stuff. Then we're left wondering why we have an injury crisis. We need to watch more conditioning and fitness stuff.
No, the fitness team need to watch more conditioning.
No, we have to watch it. We need to focus on that, apparently. Don't worry about the footballing side. As long as you're watching
now we know why we're in
conditioning.
an injury crisis.
Exactly.
Because Ben and Sim are not looking over the conditioning videos.
Yeah, we're not giving our advice and our takes on how they lift weights and all that kind of stuff. Because we're experts about that stuff. Get them playing with the football. Get me excited. T-Moon says, this was in reaction to our training video, says, this is like the Spartans in training for war from the movie 300 with De Zerbi as King Leonidas.
Is Sparta!
Hoping to see a brutal and terrifying Spurs like never seen before that strikes fear in the enemy's camp.
Absolutely,
come on, you Spurs.
That's exactly what we're going to see next season. Roberto De Zerbi's Warriors are going to be coming for all of you guys.
Yeah, 100%. And he will be like King Leonidas. He's going to kick Arteta down that hole. It's going to be brilliant. Can't wait. Tango says, we should seriously think about signing Voltemada.
You know what? We might. I think, like, him as a profile of a striker is someone that De Zerbi might like. You know, very strong, good in the air, can cause chaos in opposition boxes. I wouldn't be against it. I wouldn't be against it.
Yeah, I think it's a weird one with Eddie Howe, how he's used him and why he's used him that way. But I think that's a lot to do with Eddie Howe himself rather than Voltemada. I thought when he was playing up front, he was doing all right. He was scoring goals. Holding up play was decent. He's a bit of a weird player where he's actually very technical. He's got great feet for a big man, as they say. And but physically, I think he was also a handful. I don't understand why he took him out of the number 9. I think it's because he likes to see his number 9s be a bit more dynamic. And maybe Voltemada didn't quite fit that. But he was playing in midfield, and that was strange. I think if we sold Solanke, we could do a lot worse than Voltemada.
Yeah, I agree. I like Voltemada.
Richard P6V7 says, Bergvall could end up being the next Anderson at Forest, being bought cheap by Forest, then by City for 100 million. Still think it's a big mistake to take a short-term cash bump instead of taking a chance and waiting to see if he becomes what we hope he can. Just think we're going to lose Bergvall because we bought that useless lump Gallagher in January. Also, not shocked at Porro. Him getting sick last season was a complete joke. He's so obviously a good player, but looked crap last year because we had 2 jokers in Frank and Tudor who made everyone look crap. It's no shock we looked good under De Zerbi, and now for Spain he'll be an absolute key player next season and cannot believe the number of fans who wanted him gone.
You see, I don't disagree with much he said there, but the stuff about Lucas Bergvall saying, you know, we could regret it, but the way we're signing players, we shouldn't regret it. Because you've got Mateus Fernandes there, he's 21 years of age. If he keeps going in the trajectory he's going on, it's not going to make too much of an issue. We've got Sandro Tonali there. You know, obviously we'll keep signing players as it goes, as and when we see fit. So we shouldn't feel the loss of him too much, but obviously seeing him ball it out and become one of the leading players in the Premier League will hurt a little bit because it's what we could have had. But it shouldn't hurt us too much. But I do agree, like, we probably should be prioritising Bergvall over Conor Gallagher.
That's the thing.
Probably would.
We said it at the time, didn't we? When Gallagher signed, it's like we've got so many 8s now where there's going to have to be some full guys here. We can't keep them all. And we said, like, some of these players who we like are going to have to go now because we've got Gallagher in. And this is what we're seeing. Bergvall and Sarr likely to leave, which is a shame. And I think Bergvall might have a higher ceiling than Gallagher, but look, I also don't think we've seen the best of Gallagher at Tottenham. True. I think he's probably, you know, we judge him based on what we've seen, and that, fair enough, you know, you can only do that.
De Zerbi clearly rates him.
But De Zerbi rates him. But he was a very good player at Chelsea, at Palace. So, you know, let's see if we can see the best of Gallagher. But also, it's from what we've seen of Gallagher, I wouldn't want to lose Bergvall for that.
Yeah.
Either way. Jason Prong says, why does no one understand this? Why does no one understand this? We cannot keep selling our best gems and keep players like Connor and Sarr with less of a ceiling. It's stupid and will be effed in 2 seasons unless we spend another 200 million.
We don't need to spend another 200 million. I think the idea is we spend all this big money this summer, which is like basically a rebuild of the first team. And then if everything goes to plan, then you only need to spend like, a big player here, a big player there. We're not going to have to do transfer windows like this every summer. That's just not sustainable. The plan is to do this one big summer and then cherry pick players every year.
Just something supplement it, 100%. But he says, well, I think when he says we can't keep selling our gems for Sarr and Connor, I think Sarr's going to leave. And when it comes to Connor, Liz, I think when it comes to backing Connor up, it's hard to justify it because he's not been great ever since he's come to Tottenham. I think everyone can, apart from a few performances under Zerbi, he just hasn't been great, and that's true. But I also think there's a lot more to come from Connor. I think we've seen he can play in the Premier League to a high level. So let's hope Zerbi can get the best out of him, because I think what we've seen in him doing in the Premier League is a lot more from what we've seen from Bergvall or whoever else. So right now, that's what we're going on. But also, from what we've seen in the Tottenham shirt, he's not been great. So I understand his frustrations, but they're more ready-made players right now. That's just the truth. So, I think De Zerbi is doing what he's got to do.
The reality is, Mateus Fernandes is the same age as Bergvall, pretty much. Like 1 year in it.
Yeah, that's also true. That is also true. As Spurs says, selling Lankshear would be the dumbest of decisions ever. He had the best loan last year. Young English proper 9, give him a chance.
See, there's two ways you can look at it. There's that take, but there's also a take saying, depends what De Zerbi thinks of him, and if he doesn't think that he's going to make it to the top, his stock is at his highest right now. So I can see both ways of looking at it. So it all very much depends on what De Zerbi thinks of him. And does he think he can make it to the top? If not, then we do have to sell him this summer because this is when his stock's going to be at its very highest.
Yeah, it's true. It's hard to know what level he's at. I think looking at it just of his trajectory in his career, I think most football fans will look at that and think, this guy, he's maybe onto something. And I think it would be really good to see a young English striker given a chance. And that's a real opportunity for Tottenham to also either earn a lot more money or have a striker, which the market is very difficult to see the market on that at the moment, especially for English strikers. But on the flip side, it's hard to know what level he's truly at. He did get 11 goals in the Championship, but it's hard to know if that means he's Prem ready or if he's ever going to be Prem ready to the level that we want. It's hard to know that.
Yeah.
RFS says, we should be keeping Spence, not selling him. Get rid of Sicknote or Doggy. Can't play more than 3 or 4 games in a row and then out for months. Jedley, consistent and always available and versatile. We would be off our heads to get rid of him, but hey, with Flange and Vinay making decisions, he'll probably go. Looking at his performances in the World Cup, a lot of fans are now starting to say, surely we can't sell him. And is he worth keeping around over a Doggy? Is he showing in the World Cup he can play more on the left than maybe we think? But the reality is as well, we've seen over most of the season most of his time here, that off the left is just not perfect for him. I don't know.
He was being utilised then.
Yeah, but it's also possible, very possible.
Because, we're saying like Porro was underutilised, but obviously he showed better than what Spence does on the left. But I think it has proven, this World Cup has proven that he can be better on the left than what we've seen in a Spurs shirt, for sure. Like I've said many a time, I think I would love to keep Spence around. Him, Porro, Robertson and Udogie as the fullback options for next season would be fantastic. But I don't know. I feel it's just more of a profiling thing than anything under Roberto De Zerbi. I don't think Roberto doesn't rate him in terms of what he is as a footballer. I think maybe he just doesn't rate him in terms of what of a footballer he can be in his system.
Yeah, I agree. I think most managers have obviously picked Udogie over Spence whenever they're fit, and they've gone to him. But there's a lot of fans looking at thinking Doggy can never stay fit, and Jed, look how he plays on the left for England and in some performances for Tottenham. Is that not worth keeping over and Doggy, who seems to be a bit of a sick note? I understand that way of thinking, and it's hard to argue that we have to, if we're relying on Doggy to stay fit, but you've got to remember, we've got Robertson now as well. He's going to share the load, and hopefully that means less burden on a Doggy, and hopefully that can lead to him staying more fit. And if he does, I think he's probably still a better option than Spence there.
It might not even be a decision from Roberto whether he wants to keep him or sell him. It might be coming from Spence being like, look, we've got Porro here. He's obviously the number one choice. We've got Udogie and Robertson now on the left-hand side. Every time I've always been second fiddle to Udogie, and now Robertson's there as well. So maybe he's looking at the situation being like, I need to go play first team football week in, week out. So maybe it's more of a thing led by Spence even.
It could be. It's very possible. Borgie says, if Arsenal want Rodgers, we should run up the price for him, make Arsenal pay through the nose.
100%. You mentioned that before, actually, didn't you?
Yeah.
And I think we should definitely do that. Go slap down the money for Morgan Rodgers and then see what Arsenal
Just keep
do.
outbidding them. Keep making them pay more. like an auction.
That would be pure shithousery.
I love that. I
Brilliant.
love it. They go 110, we go 120. They match it, we go 130. Just keep upping the price until they can't afford another signing this summer. That'll be absolutely brilliant. Or just force them to miss out on him and see what they do. That'll be absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
So I think either way, slap down a big amount of money and ask the question to Arsenal, are you going to match it? Leon says, Bergval plus 50 for Rodgers or Romero plus 70 for Alvarez?
I'm going to go for Romero for Alvarez.
Plus 70.
Yeah.
Bit more money.
Money's no object.
Yeah, I would agree
Can't we do
as well.
both?
Huh?
Can't we do
And
both?
do both. Yeah, exactly. Spend 120 million plus Romero and Bergval. I would do it. That would up our team. Get players we want out. Get 2 unbelievable attackers. Imagine we did that. Oh my god! Imagine we entered the Alvarez race. No, that'd be too much. That'd be too much. No way is Alvarez coming to Tottenham. Surely not.
Oh god. Well, which one would you prefer?
I think Alvarez.
Yeah.
Just because he's more of a striker, maybe that and more of a goal getter than Rodgers. But then again, I do love Rodgers. He does also have that unbelievable strength and turn that we don't really have someone who can do that.
It's nice to dream, isn't it?
Yeah, it's very nice to dream. It's like
very
dreaming
nice
of
to
winning the
dream.
lottery.
Well, we have won the lottery this summer, it seems like. The way
True.
they're splashing the cash. But look, those are your comments, guys. Thank you, everyone, for sending them in. Keep sending them in and we'll keep reacting to them. But I believe that is all we have for you today.